Welcome, Doug. Woohoo! You don't want it?
It's something weird.
All right. So let me turn it off.
No, that's fine. All right, can everybody hear me? I'm a little nervous. Travis was, whoo, it was God working through him today. Wow. Um, I'm a recovering addict. My name's Doug. I always like to say, and I know this isn't an NA meeting, but I thank God for Narcotics Anonymous, and I thank Narcotics Anonymous for bringing me back to God, right? To understand where my power comes from. I was we've been busy. Right? This has been a busy week in the UK for us, and an amazing time with amazing people, and I'm so grateful. And I can remember thinking how selfish I can be when I'm tired, grouchy, and say, I have to do this again. And someone up here, she said, it is better to give than to receive. I'm like, oh, and your flesh just wants to, I want to throw a temper tantrum. And I remember that I can only keep what I have by giving it away. I've been a little worried and concerned because one of the gifts of recovery is having a growing concern for others. And Travis and I, he lives in Florida, my family lives in Florida, and there's a hurricane going through there right now. I don't know. I'm from the Midwest, right? We have tornadoes. We don't have hurricanes. I know what to do with that. But so I'm a little confused, right? I'm going somewhere with the second step with this. I want you to know that I'm not sidetracked. I'm leading into what's going on in my mind and how a power has to come in, because when I'm left feeling a void in my life and emptiness, and a lot of times today it doesn't come in the beginning. It was about the drugs and the emptiness and the void that came, this vacuum that came when you took my best friend away from me, the thing that numbed the pain of life on life's terms, and the murder of my son, and the trauma of watching my father shoot himself, and all these things that happened to me. And it was like I lost my best friend. And I felt empty. But now the emptiness comes in worry and concern, sometimes more than what it needs to be, because I forget who is the ultimate authority. Authority is where my greatest source of strength and courage comes from. So they're both in the line of this hurricane that's going to go through. Our flights were canceled, they're changed, no big deal, right? We can go with the flow today, no problem. But I get concerned. I love Travis's kids are my little buddies, right? They're running around, and something happens to you when you have a loss of a child, and I get attached. So I have to remember that I'm dealing with a power, and this is what it says in the second step. We believe that there's a power that's great enough to heal our hurt, calm our confusion, and restore our sanity, right? And that's where I'm at. I want to I have to admit that need, right? That me alone, that's the paradox of the first to the second step transition, is once I accept and admit the need and the absence of power and the need for something greater than myself, then this paradox happens and I can become willing in the third to turn my will and my life over and make that commitment. But in that spot, I needed something tangible, right? It's easy, and my sponsor's real good at helping me with this. He's like, you feel that? Put your hand over your chest. You feel that? That's how you know you're alive. But can you see it? We just know it happens. We can't see our breath. We can't see air, but I breathe all day long. I'm not even conscious of it anymore. I don't have to think about it, right? It's not, I don't have something I can hold onto and grasp and say, this is it. And God knew that I needed something tangible to give me the hope. So I would hold on because pain ends. And he gave me you. Right? You were the tangible evidence I needed in my life that these dark corners and these horrible places and this homelessness and this joblessness and this powerlessness and helplessness and useless and all the other lessons that I could come to a place and see that you had been to those places, you had felt like I had felt, and you were no longer there. I had some evidence now. I had someone who could communicate to me what that felt like and that they had got on the other side. Sometimes it's as simple as 2 words, me too. A simple me too can make all the difference in the world. And so you became a power greater than myself. It didn't start out, it says in the second step, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. It doesn't say what that power is. And God knew that I was fragile, right? That I was struggled when the world, but here, let me tell you my thinking. When you, God, have taken these things from me and put me in these positions, how can I believe in you? And he said, that's okay. That's okay. We'll get through that to the point where you understand that it wasn't me, that the world was testing you, and I was just trying to see you through the test. But you just have to allow me. You have to believe that I'm here. I loved you so much. I gave you this gift called free will. But you have to make a decision. But to get to that decision, I had to see something tangible. I saw people getting their kids back, right? I saw people going from homelessness to homeowner. And it wasn't God at this point. It wasn't a God of my understanding. There was something that I couldn't identify yet, but I knew that I felt an energy in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous that gave me chills up my arms. You guys call them goose pimples, right? It gave me goose pimples. Came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity. Not what that, came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity. Not what it is, it doesn't even matter. And then as I continued to go to meetings, these steps and these principles embodied in the steps became a power greater than myself, right? I like to use an analogy, and I got this from someone else, but there's these laws and principles we have in life, right? Like gravity. Every single time, we have no problem with the principle of gravity. That's why I'm not going to go on the top of the building and step off the side, because every single time, what's going to happen? gravity is going to work, right? And I'm going to fall to my death. There's the law of inertia, right? That's why I don't walk out in front of moving buses, because if I step out in front of a moving bus, the inertia, the force of the bus every time, it's over, right? Trajectory. We have a serious gun problem in the United States. People get shot all the time. I was talking to someone before the meeting, Shannon, and gun violence is all through my life. And I've been on both sides of it. And so when someone pulls a gun on you, the law of trajectory tells me move out of the way, right? Because I know every time if you pull that trigger, the trajectory of the bullet is going to come and my life is over again. So why is it any different when it comes to the principles of recovery? Won't it always work better if I'm honest than if I'm dishonest? Maybe I don't feel any initial instant gratification from it, but in the long run, my life is always better when I'm honest. And the same goes when I'm open-minded. I learn new things when I get to listen, and I stay in the conversation when I'm communicating with people, and I'm listening to people's stories and involved in the conversation, and they give me guidance in something, and I take that guidance, and it's better than if I just don't listen at all. Every single time. Not part of the time, not some of the time, but all of the time. So, and that's how it works for me. I want to read something. This is Proverbs 16:9. A man's mind plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps and makes them sure. A lot of my life, I've tried to think myself with my thought process into a better way of living. What I found out is that my best thinking gets me in trouble, right? My best ideas got me here. But if I learn how to behave myself into a better way of thinking, it goes a lot better. If I just act as if, I don't believe in fake it till you make it. I'm not going to act like I believe in something that I don't believe in. But if I act as if and take the motions on a daily basis, somehow my thinking seems to fall into place afterwards. It follows along with me, and then I start to believe. So I believed that there was something that I couldn't put a name on it, because he brought people like you and me together when we come from different walks of life, different backgrounds, and put us in a room together to help each other. The evidence was real important. You know, I was thinking about how I always say I'm a recovering addict, right? And this is the process of coming to believe is ongoing. But there's some things that I've learned to do. Like, instead of saying I'm just an addict, because I'm not just an addict anymore, right? I've chose to do something about my problem. So I identify myself as a recovering addict. Even the literature in NA says we are recovering addicts who meet regularly to help each other stay clean. I'm no longer just an addict. I've learned that if I come to believe in a power greater than myself that believes in me and wants the best for me, then I need to start talking to myself like I believe God would talk to me. Like I'm his son and I'm perfect. just in the way he made me, right? That I'm enough. I'm more than enough. I'm worth my weight in gold. I can give and receive love freely. I can speak my truth. I no longer have to hide behind phony and false images and be somebody I'm not. That I'm enough just as I am. Because I'm made by him. So it leads me, and it's hard, right? Because you want to talk about 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, and it's hard. I'm trying to not get into 3, and talk about the decision that's made. But there's this middle spot that can't be gone over with a minimum of concern, where I have to start believing that something was there for me when I wasn't there for myself. And what makes me think that that same something isn't going to be there right now? That that same something isn't going to protect my family and Travis's family from that hurricane? That's not going to give me more than I can handle. You know, that same something that protected me my whole life is not going to be there right now. What makes me think God's perfect will isn't being done right now? And when I come to believe that, it puts me in a position to move on to step 3. My hope that started off as a positive possibility from transitioning from 1 to 2 increased to a full plate of hope. After some practice, it became faith, because I saw it work for you. So what makes me think it can't work for me? And through action, I gained trust. So I'm real grateful to be here. I'm tired. There were some things that were talked about adoption that I thought about bringing up, and I just don't. There's certain things that I'm still not comfortable talking about, and that's okay, right? We keep coming back. We continue to grow. I know I'm in a process of growth, and I'm so grateful that I'm not just an addict anymore, that I'm a recovering addict. I've been saved by grace, unmerited favor, right? I did nothing at all to deserve the life that I've been given. You know, that God is healing my hurt, calming my confusion, and restoring my sanity. They're all ending in ing, you know, so why should I not say to myself and speak positivity over my life and tell myself I am a recovering addict? You know, I am more than what I was when I got here, but I'm not as much as what I'm going to be tomorrow. So thanks for letting me share.